Piper, right on cue. Hi. Did you ever wonder why when our pets, our dogs, our cats, when they wake up, they usually stretch it out first thing and then they pair it with a good yawn? We oftentimes do that too. When you get a good stretch going on, you want to take a good yawn, and it is called pandiculation. Pandiculation is a way of waking up the nervous system, waking up from the inside out. So think of your yoga as doing that, waking up from the inside out, waking up your nervous system, just getting you ready to fully engage with your day, whatever it may bring. I'm Jan, this is 316 Yoga, this is your yoga from home. We practice every single day live for 1 hour. Maybe you can stick around for the whole hour, maybe it's only 10 minutes, it's all good, it's some form of movement, just stretch it out. Today's practice, it's called our Yoga Plus. In our Yoga Plus practice, we combine yoga with Pilates and Barre, and we lift some hand weights. So we just get everything moving. Other days of the week, we do other kinds of practices. They range from restorative all the way through your vinyasa practice. But you can do them all, and you can do them all because you make it work for you. Whatever you do, bottom of the screen says do what's right for your body. The yoga is right for your body. The movements are right for your body. If you do them, so they're comfortable, so they don't hurt. Maybe a little bit of stretch, a little bit of uncomfortables, that's okay. But if it hurts, don't do it. You know your body best. Listen to your body. If it's painful, don't do it. You're not doing a pose just for the sake of doing a pose. Big deal. Who cares about the pose? You're doing it to get the good stretch on, to get the good feeling on, to get the movement on, to build strength in your body so you can engage with your day in the best way you can. All right. So the word to think about as you practice today is the word courage. And courage means the quality of mind or spirit that enables us to face things. Oh my gosh, I should say that one again. The quality of mind or spirit that allows us to face things. Coming to a yoga practice maybe, or just getting up out of bed. It's all part of being courageous. Get in the game, be courageous, let the movements take you where you need to go to feel a little more courage in your body. Okay. All right, pep talk is done. Let's grab our props. I've got a yoga ball today. This is a motion ball, and it's deflated a lot. And the purpose of that is to create an unstable surface. It's not meant to be a ball. It's meant to be an unstable surface. You can buy those online. They're not very expensive. Get it. Try it. It's kind of fun. Couple little hand weights. If you don't have weights today, no big deal. You can do it with nothing, or grab a couple water bottles. Have a water bottle handy to drink as well. An eye shade and a little hand towel to cover your eyes at the end of the practice for final Shavasana, or to slip under your knees if your knees are uncomfortable. She's going at it today. Couple of yoga blocks. They are great to bring the ground up to you. All right, let's come on up. Let's come up to standing. As you're coming up to standing, one of the things we always like to do is lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever it is. Give it a number from 0 stress, I'm totally zen, to, oh, I'm feeling some stress today. Let's see what that number is for you. All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to strike a confident stance. All right, you got your stress number locked in. Bring your feet a little wider than hip width distance. I told you it was real. It's live. No cuts. It's all right. She can stay there for a little bit. Put your hands on your hips. Send your elbows to the back of the room. Lift your chest up to the sky. Lift your chin away from your chest. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And then a huge sighing breath out through your mouth. Your body, so the sighs, relieve stress. Think about it. When you're stressed out, you sigh. Sigh it out here. Nobody's listening. You're doing your yoga from home. That's a benefit of doing it here. Let it go. Start to rise up onto the balls of your feet. You can have a chair nearby. Nobody's judging you. Most importantly, don't judge yourself. It's totally okay to have a chair. So you're lifting up onto the balls of your feet. I hope you're barefoot. You're at home, barefoot, using your strong feet, using your feet to kind of dig into the mat, to be strong in your confident stance. Chest is shining forward, shoulders are back and down, and get it into your head that I can do it. I can do it. Yes, I can. You can do it. You can do it because you're doing it your way. But lift on up, keeping the heel behind the toes. Feel the calves starting to awaken. And when you're ready, let's come on down to the heels and lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Plant your feet solidly on the mat and kind of move your hips a little bit so you're moving sideways in the feet. Just think of all those muscles in your feet that help you move, that help keep you stable and strong. All right, bring your feet a little more together. Send your arms up high to the sky. Take that extended mountain pose. In extended mountain, your fingers are reaching high. Your pinkies are spiraled in a little bit, and then try to get your shoulders to relax just a little. Lengthen up here. Feel the lengthening up even through your hips. Draw your belly button towards your spine as you kind of hold on to that tight core. Lengthen a little more with your fingers and look forward. Interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky, put a bend in your elbows if you like that, and then start to sway from side to side. So you're solid in your foundation, you're swaying from side to side, getting a nice stretch in your side body, chin away from your chest, maybe you hang out on one side, then you go on to the other. You are capable of overcoming all kinds of adversity. You've overcome all kinds of adversity in your life. Your yoga is hardly that. It may be a little difficult, maybe a little hard, maybe a little sore to move, but just try. Overcome that desire to quit. Stick with it just a little bit longer. So there's your palm tree pose. Nice big stretches from side to side. Take your hands, shoulders back over your hips. Take your hands, float them down, place them behind your low back. Push your belly forward. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Feel, expansion in your chest. Think of your heart lifting up to the sky. And look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or maybe look a little higher, maybe look directly overhead. You just take this little gentle back bend. You've moved your spine sideways. Now let's move it in this direction. Think cow pose. Or if you haven't done yoga before, just hold on for a second and just remember how this pose feels. And if you've been doing yoga with me for a while, think of your cow pose. Now think of your cat pose. Exhale the air out of your lungs and take a forward fold. Let your arms hang toward the earth. Put a bend in your knees if that feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. You don't have to bring your fingers all the way down to the ground. You take them as far as feels right for you. Send your gaze back between your knees as you tuck your chin towards your chest, allowing the crown of your head to come toward the earth. Shake your neck like you're saying yes, no, shake it all around. Just loosen up in the neck. In fact, loosen up in the shoulders and loosen up in the hips. Wiggle your knees. It's just yoga. It's movement to make you feel good in your mind, your body, your soul. Let it all go. Slowly come to stillness and then rise on up one vertebra at a time as you come on back up to standing. All right, so we've moved our spine all different ways. Let's move our arms. Tee out your arms. Start to draw little circles to the back of the room. Now add in your knees. Wake up your knees. They love movement. All right, so bend your knees when your hands come down. Straighten your knees when your hands come up. Little circles in the arms, big circles in the arms, whatever feels good for you. Take your circles in the other direction and keep those knees moving. Breathe in. Are you still exhaling it out? Let it go. You're taking care of your health. This is self-care. What you're doing is just enough. Don't be critical. Don't say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not doing it big enough, strong enough, fast enough. Who cares? Stop being critical. Be proud of yourself. You are enough just the way you are. Come on up to standing. All right, so knees are awakened a little bit. Shoulders are awakened a little bit. Let's move the waist. All right, you're gonna let your arms hang down by your sides. You're gonna twist from side to side. You're gonna let the arms be heavy as you tap your hip and your backside. And look over your shoulder. Really try to look over your shoulder. Adjust your feet so you're comfortable. Sigh it out, breathe it out. Whew. It's a good little warm-up. You're getting the body awakened. You're bringing awareness to everything you got so you can move better on your mat. And then when you move better on your mat, you'll move better off of your mat, those other 23 hours of the day. All right, let's slow it on down. Let's come to a ragdoll pose. Back to the natural position, standing. Spread your feet a little bit so they're hip width distance apart. I Dream a Genie arms. Hinge forward as you lengthen up, then hinge forward. Little bend in your knees. Ragdoll pose. All right, loosen the arms, loosen your neck, shake your head, look back towards your belly button. Head is loose, shoulders are loose. Just wiggle a little bit here, maybe a little bounce in the knees. Start to sway the elbows from side to side. So you're creating like a little sideways number 8 with your elbows as you draw in the air here. So you're loosening up the low back and let's finish in our ragdoll pose. And you know what? If you like a pose, stay here a little bit longer. There's no rush, there's no hurry, you do it your way. I'm gonna come back to the midline of my body. I'm gonna release my fingers to my mat. Excuse me, Piper. Piper, move. Piper, move. Go on. All right, come on down to your mat. Move. All right, good girl. All right, so when you come down to your mat, let's take a child's pose. This is a chance to get into your head so you can get out of your head. Bring your knees together. Bring your big toes to touch. You can use a block if you want. Send your hips back to your heels. Arms can be down by your sides with your palms face up. The block can be under your forehead. You could use a smaller block if you want to come lower, or you can have no block at all and bring your head all the way down to your mat, or you can use a towel here. That just feels nice and clean. Arms down by your sides, spine is long, tailbone to the back of the room, crown of the head to the front. Here is your classic child's pose position. I like to take the alternative, and you may like it too. That's called a wide-legged child's pose. Spread your knees wide, big toes touch, hips back to your heels. Arms reach long to the top of the mat. You can bring your head or your chest down to that block. Just remember, the block is here to bring the ground up to you. You could also bring your head down to your mat. Arms reach long to the top of your mat here. If you got that block at the top of the mat, here's something else you could do. You could place the block underneath your hands. Walk it out to however far is comfortable to just get a nice big stretch in the shoulders. Put a bend in the elbows if that feels better, or don't use the block at all. There are just so many different ways to allow the yoga to help you move your body so you can gain more flexibility, more mobility, more stability, and strength in your body. So in this child's pose, take your deep breath in through your nose. Remember that sighing breath out through your mouth. As you sigh it out, really think of your tailbone going to the back of the room. This is your child's pose. Come back to it anytime you want, or stay in the pose as long as you want. Perhaps you want to close your lips. If you do that, you can breathe in and out of your nose. If you can breathe in and out of your nose, allowing you to build heat in your body as you focus on the sound of your breath in the back of your throat. Soften in the jaws. Let the teeth be a little bit separate. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find your peace in this pose. Stretch it out. Stay here if you like, but I'm going to come on out of this pose. Come out of the child's pose and let's go into a puppy pose. All right, for this one, bring your forearms down to your mat. Bring your knees either a little closer, a little further apart, whatever feels good for you. Let your chest melt toward the earth. So your forearms are parallel to each other. Your shoulders are kind of sort of over your elbows, and you're going to let your chest melt toward the earth. So your tailbone's going to be going up high to the sky. Just get some movement in that low to mid back. Like a puppy, you know, they wag their tails when they go into this pose. Move your bottom a little bit from side to side. Just move the hips. Maybe bring your chest a little bit lower. Maybe say, I'm pretty low, but I want to use that block underneath my chest. That feels good. You feel kind of accomplished when you bring that block under your chest in this puppy pose. All right, so you're moving your hips a little bit from side to side, wiggling your bottom like a puppy ready to play. Let's finish up. Come on up to a neutral tabletop. We don't stay in any of these poses long today because we got a lot of poses to do. Bring your fingertips back towards your knees. Let your forearms shine forward. All right, adjust your knees, get comfortable here, fingers spread wide. You want to feel a stretch in your forearm, in the front of your arm here, the part that's shining forward. Move your hips side to side like you did in that puppy pose. Maybe move your bottom back towards your heels, whatever feels good in that forearm. Maybe close your eyes here and just feel what you feel in the forearms. Ooh, they're usually so tight. So you're stretching them out. Let this feel great. All right, stay here longer if you want. I'm going to finish, and I'm going to bring my fingers back to a natural position so the fingertips are facing toward the front of the mat. Wiggle your fingers, let them go here, and then grab your 2 blocks. We're gonna go from toes pose to ankle pose. All right, so for toes pose, you're standing on your knees, shoulders are over your hips, tuck your toes towards your shins and have a seat back on your heels. This is a hard one. This is a hard pose for many, many people, especially women, because we've worn high heels for a number of years, and the feet, they get not real nice, they get really tight. All right, so have a seat back on your heels as best you can. Like everything, if it's painful, don't do it. Come out of it. Take it to a lesser percentage. If it's just uncomfortable, say, oh wow, I can do this, I can do this. I'm gonna cross through that threshold of discomfort to the other side. All right, stay here as long as feels right, and then let's take it into its complementary pose, an ankle pose. To do that, I'm gonna put the tops of my feet on the mat. Then I'm gonna have a seat on my heels. Using the blocks, I'm gonna walk them back, and I'm gonna press into the blocks or press into the ground, because remember, the blocks are just bringing the ground up to you. I'm gonna press into my hands, letting my knees come up, but keeping my knees together. So I'm on the tops of my feet. Hold on here. You can use the blocks or not use the blocks. It's up to you, the level of challenge you want to take. But take a challenge. And when you say yes to challenges, you say yes to some challenges, you're also saying yes to growth. You're saying yes to courage, that word we've been thinking about today, and change. And you gotta challenge yourself to grow. You gotta have courage to change. All right, let's come into that toes pose. Bring the knees down, tuck the toes under. You can use your hands, the blocks, or no hands at all. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer center. Gonna tell myself something positive about myself. Fill in the blank. I am, maybe courageous is a good one today, or I can do it. Yes, you can. Hold on here, soften in the shoulders, lengthen through the crown of your head. Enjoy your toes pose as your feet stretch. Take it to an ankle pose, tops of the feet on your mat. Walk back with your blocks, or maybe keep your hands at prayer center. Lift your knees on up, maybe close your eyes and challenge your balance a little bit here. No problem if your hands are down. Nobody's judging you. Everybody's at a different phase of life, right? Hold on here, stretch it out, however feels good for you. In your ankle pose, maybe it feels really good on the ankles and you want to take it even farther. Play with it a little bit to see what feels great for the one and only unique you. All right, I'm going to come back, toes pose one more time. Breathe, strong foundation, you've got it. All right, one last breath here, but really let all the weight sink into your toes. Let it go, let it go. Let your toes just feel the stretch, and we'll finish. All right, neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Wiggle and squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles, then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Cat-cow, remember I mentioned that when we were doing our pose earlier. Think of a cat. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky, push into the tops of your feet, push into your hands. There's your cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, crown of the head lifts, tailbone lifts. All right, so you're shaping your body into the shape of a letter C. A forward C, if you will, and then a backward C. Move the spine, get the spine moving. Joseph Pilates said, you are as young as your spine is flexible. Keep it moving. If you're 30 years old and your spine is stiff, then you are old, he said. And if you are 70 years old and your spine is mobile, then you are young. Isn't it true? You don't care what the numbers on the calendar say. What you care about is how you feel in your body. Your mobility is the key. All right, cat-cow, a few times back and forth. Let's finish up. Now let's take the ball. Let's take the squishy ball, or if you don't have a ball, totally fine. You could use the weight behind your leg. You could use nothing behind your leg, but the ball just makes it more fun. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the knee up. We're gonna go into our fire hydrant pose. Draw the toes toward the shin. It helps lock in what you got behind your knee there. Lift the leg to the side of the room. Hips equidistant to the ground. You're lifting and lowering your leg to the side. Lift and lower, lower and lift. All right, get into those hips. You know, the biggest ball and socket joint you got in your body, move it. Your hips are key to your mobility. All right, lift the leg up nice and high. Ankle a little higher than the knee. Pulse the foot up to the sky. Pulse the whole leg up to the sky. Breathe. All right, hover the right knee next to the left. Let's take it to the donkey kick. Lift the leg up, bringing the knee to about hip height. Sole of the foot is drawn towards your shin, and the toes are drawn towards your shin, and the sole of your foot is going to go pulsing up to the sky. Pulse it up good and high. Your knee at about hip height. That's higher than you think. You're going to feel the nice tight squeeze in your glutes. Lift the foot high to the sky. Now pulse your heel in towards your bottom. Your wrists, if it doesn't feel good on your wrists, you could fold your mat in half or quarters or whatever it is to create a little extra cushioning there. You could ball your hands into fists if you like that. You could also come down to your forearms. So there's lots of ways to do it. Just do what's right for you. Take time to think about it. If it hurts, come out of it. Find an alternative. Maybe the alternative is to not do the pose, but maybe try to find a modification. All right, so let's stop with the pulsing of that leg up to the sky. Let's hover the right knee next to the left for a moment or two. Then place the knee down. We have another side to do. Let's switch to it. I'm going to switch to the ball because the ball's just more fun. And sometimes you need all the encouragement you can get to do your yoga, or your anything for that matter. All right, draw the left toes toward the shin. Lift the leg to the side of the room in your fire hydrant pose. So maybe it's just a little bit of a lift. That's okay. Maybe it's a big lift. That's great. You do what is right for you in this moment. And every day is different, that's for sure. Lift and lower. Your pace. Lift the leg up to the sky, pulse it up, up, up. Maybe the ankle is a little bit higher than the knee. As you're ready, let the left knee hover next to the right. Send the left knee toward the bottom of the mat, knee to about hip height. When you're ready, start to pulse the leg up, up, up to the sky. Pulse it up, lift it a little higher, but keep your left hip down. Lengthen through your spine. Don't sag in your belly, stay strong. Stop with the pulsing up to the sky, lift it up good and high, hug the heel in toward your bottom, and then kick the heel in toward your bottom. Woo, this one's a good one. After this, we'll do an extended child's pose. That's the one with the knees wide apart. It'll just even everything out, and it'll just feel really, really good after this pose. So think about what you're feeling in your low back. You're strengthening it. You're building the muscles back there, staying good and strong, and also building your glutes and your quads. Nice, strong muscles. You got it. All right, let's hover the left knee next to the right. Lower the hips so they're equidistant to the mat. When you're ready, left knee comes down. Spread your knees wide. Remove the ball. And sink on down to your wide-legged child's pose. Enjoy the getting here. The journey feels so good on this one. All right, reach your hands long to the top of the mat. Push into your hands, sending your spine long, crown of your head lengthening towards your fingers, and your tailbone going back towards your heels. Nice long spine. Breathe in. Maybe sigh it out. Let it go. Let's press out of this pose, or stay if you want. I'm just guiding you to ways to get through this. You listen to you, though. If you want to stay in child's pose, do it. All right, so let's do bird dog pose here. All right, I'm going to do bird dog on the ball. That's more of a challenge. You decide how you want to do it. Okay, so bird dog is a lengthening of the spine. What I'm going to do is I am going to place the ball under my right knee. You don't have to do that at all. Tuck the right toes toward the shin. The ball creates an unstable surface to make this more challenging. I'm going to lift my left leg up, knee to hip height, you know that. Left leg extends long, toes drawn toward the shin so the heel is driving toward the back of the room. Left leg is extended, I'm going to bring it up a little higher, then I'm going to extend my right arm. Push into your foundational limbs and hold it here. Stretch and reach, and then maybe tuck elbow to knee. Stretch and reach, elbow to knee. Stretch and reach, I mean really stretch, far, long, strong. Elbow to knee, and then finish. Hand down, knee down, other side. Bring the ball under the left knee if you want. Draw the left toes toward the shin to create a little kickstand. Lift the right leg up, knee to hip height. Right leg extends, toes to your shin. Ooh, I feel tightness in my low back here, strength. Push into the mat, right leg is extended, so I'm gonna add in my left arm. Push the ground away, it helps keep you stable, helps keep you strong. Lengthen through your fingers and then elbow to knee. And reach, or don't do the elbow to the knee. Totally fine, your call. 3 times on that side, we'll finish with knees down. Both knees down, remove the ball, place the ball at the top of your mat. Stretch it out again, knees wide, big toes touch, hips back to the heels, wide-legged child's pose. Put your hands on the ball. Wiggle the ball from left to right. Stretch out your armpits. Breathe in, breathe out, let it feel great. All right, come on up to a seated position. Maybe grab a drink of water. We're gonna do a plank today, and lots of different ways to do plank. We do a plank just about every day. We set a 1-minute timer on the screen so you can assess yourself if you're improving in your time, which you will be if you keep coming back. You just gotta keep coming back. That's the ticket. Lots of ways to do it. Lie flat on your back. Imagine the ceiling is the ground. Press your hands into the ceiling and push. Push hard. Core, engage it, stay strong. Options, come down to your knees, that neutral tabletop, but wiggle your hips back, your hands forward, and lean forward. Hold on here like you're about to do a push-up. Put a towel under your knees if that feels better. Or drop to your forearms. They're parallel to each other, kind of like that puppy pose, but hinge the weight forward, elbows over or under your shoulders. Hold it here, core engaged, stay strong. Options, tuck your toes under, press on up to your dolphin plank. If you want, take a high plank, shoulders under your, or shoulders over your wrists. Legs long, high plank, core engaged, lengthen up and stay strong. I'm gonna take a reverse plank. All right, for that, what you might want to do if you're new to it, soles of the feet can be on your mat, fingers towards your heels, stay right here, push into your arms and lift on up a little bit, or send your legs long, lift your hips up, and let's go with a 1-minute plank. Here we go. Timer is set. Chest is lifted. Hold on strong. Hold on strong. Take breaks when you need to. You can come down to your knees. That's a way to take a break. If you're in that high plank, you could also go to a downward facing dog. We're 20 seconds in. You've got it. Chest is lifted to the sky. Stay straight, stay long like a plank. Stay here. You've got it. Embrace the burn. Hold on. We're halfway there. You can do it. You can do anything. Set your mind to it. And you can do anything because you've set your plan as to what you're gonna do. Piper wants to be with me today. We got 20 seconds to go. Hold on here. Oh my, hold on. You got it. Gaze up to the sky. If you're in your reverse plank, hold on. Oh my goodness. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Here we go. 2, 1, and done. Come on down. Hi, Piper. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna grab a drink. What are you doing? All right, she's with me today. Grab your water. Have a drink if you want. Whichever variation of plank you did was A+. Piper, move, honey. Come on, move. Come on, move. All right, let's do our frog crunches. For your frog crunches, soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. Knees open wide, hands, fingertips towards your temples. When you're ready, elbows open wide, knees open wide. Lift on up in your Supta Baddha Konasana crunches. I have a 40-pound weight on one leg right now. Lift and lower. Supta Baddha Konasana crunches. Piper, you've got to move. I love you. Move. Piper, please move. Good girl. Please move. Come on, come on, come on. Good girl. Good girl. All right, so frog crunches. Lift your feet up. Lift your knees up. Keep your soles of your feet together. Touch your elbows to your knees and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Oh my gosh. All right, great view, right, Piper? Good dog. Lift and lower. There we go. You got it. Your little frog crunches. Keep your knees open wide. Keep your elbows open wide. Lift and lower. All right, next pose. Send your legs long on your mat. Grab either your ball or your block. Let's do a transfer here. Send your legs up to the sky. Bring the ball between your ankles. Arms go high overhead. Lower the ball down. Lower the ball down. Let it touch the earth and then send them up. As they come up, your arms go up. Have your arms and your legs meet so you can grab that ball or that block and then lower the limbs. So like giant levers, the arms and the legs, nice and straight. Transferring the ball between the legs and the arms. Strong core, strong leg lifts. You got it. Transfer back and forth, back and forth. Good work. All right. Let's lift the legs up to the sky. Have the ball in your hands. Lift your shoulders up. Take the ball, circle it around your legs like it's a ball of string that you're winding around your calves. Try to work it more toward your ankles as you lift a little higher in your shoulders. Spread your legs a little bit and do a figure 8 with the ball or the block or nothing at all. Just try. All right, let's take the ball into our hands. Bring it high overhead. Let your legs lower down as you stretch it out in your stick pose. Toes point, arms point, ball between your hands. Wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Woo, stick pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Pilates 100s. Let your arms be down by your sides now. Shoulders away from your ears. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. When you're ready, draw your toes toward your shins. Calves are on your mat. When you're ready, lift your arms up. Start to pat the ground like you're patting a puppy, right? Lift your shoulders up, up, up. Lift your legs up, up, up. And breathe here. Breathe and pat the ground. If you don't like any combination of these, play with it. Maybe the shoulders come down. Maybe the shoulders stay up and the heels come down. Maybe you lift one leg or the other. It's all good. Do you believe that? It is all good. Just try. In Joseph Pilates 100's pose, he pat the ground 100 times, but we're not going to do it. We're going to do it as many times as feels right for your strong core. Breathe. Breathe. I'm going to lift my legs a little higher, keeping my tailbone plugged in. Maybe lift the shoulders a little higher too. Breathe. When you're ready, let's come on down, all the way down. Let your arms be down by your sides. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Whew. All right, bend your knees. Hands go behind your hamstrings, low on the hamstrings, right behind the knees. Put a bend in the knees, hug the elbows in, rock and roll on up. And if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, you should always check with your doctor to see if it's okay for you to do yoga. But if you have any of those back conditions or bone conditions, you don't want to rock and roll on your spine. If everything's okay, rock and roll on your spine. Come on up to seated. All right, for your boat pose, lean on back. Shoulders are back. Back is nice and flat. Lift on up, little to no weight in your feet. Grab your weights if you want and bring them towards your chest. Hold on here, maybe lift your feet a little or a lot. Start to row your boat. Take a twist with the weights. Or maybe you're using just one weight, or maybe you're using no weights at all. Maybe touch down on one side, then the other. Weights make it a little more of a challenge. Breathe, twist, have fun with it. Have fun with it. Let's finish. Come to prayers. Bring your feet down. Come to the midline of your body with the weights nearby. Let's go into a lunge. So come on to a standing on your knees position. Have your weights nearby because we're going to grab these in a second. So for your lunge, maybe bring your right foot forward, knee over ankle, left leg is back. Tuck your left toes towards your shin and grab your weight. You can stay right here, totally fine, hold on to your weights, or pop on up off of that back knee. Push both feet hard into the ground. And if you don't like that, but you also don't want to come all the way up, here's what you can do. Put the block under your knee. So you feel like you're in a nice high lunge, but you got the support of that block. What have you done? You've brought the ground up to you. Stay here, hold here, lift the weights up overhead, and then to your shoulders. Weights overhead, and then to your shoulders. Press into your feet. They're your strong foundation. Acknowledge them. Use them. Lift and lower. the weights. Up and to the shoulders. Palms are in towards your ears. Hold on here. You got it. Maybe lift the weights up. Maybe a little bit of a back bend. Weights back to the shoulders. Weights come down toward the ground. Let's switch it out. All right, so to switch it out, bring your left foot forward. Bring your right foot back. Sink on down to the lunge that is right for you. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Sink on down. Maybe put the block under your right knee. Maybe come all the way down if that feels good. Or stay a little bit lifted. Weights to your shoulders. Lift and lower. Find your balance. Find your strength. Press into the floor. Woo, you got it. Lift and lower. You got it. Lift the weights up. A little bit of a back bend. Weights to your shoulders. Come on down to the knee. You got it. Place the weights, down on your mat. Let's send both knees together. Bring your hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe take a little gentle camel pose. Chest to the sky. Come back, shoulders over hips. Right foot comes forward. Using your strong core, or use the ground if you have to. With your strong core, maybe lift on up to standing. Grab your weights again and bring them to your side. Bring the weights now to your shoulders. Lift and lower here from a standing position. Bring your weights, palms face forward. Lift to the sky. Come on back, bringing your elbows to about shoulder height. Lift and lower, kind of like Spider-Man on the wall. Lift and lower, but don't come down too low. We're gonna come down to our elbows. Palms shining forward. And when you're ready, elbows at shoulder height, pulse your arms back, back, back. Strong upper body. Tee out your arms now. Pulse your arms up, up, up. You could be seated in a chair now if you want. Totally fine. Flip your hands so your palms are down. Pulse them down, down, down. When you're ready, flip your hands back up. Now alternate. Bending an elbow, bringing a weight toward a shoulder, then the other, then the other. Maybe look in one direction, then back to center, then look in the other direction. You decide how you want it to be. Just move your neck a little bit. Get the neck into the game. Working the biceps now. When you're ready, tee out your arms. Pulse them up, up, up. Flip the palms down, pulse them down, down, down. Flip the palms up. Bend the elbows so your elbows are at shoulder height. Bring your palms so they're facing forward. Lift the weights up to the sky and then pull the elbows down towards your waist. Lift the shoulders up to the sky. Elbows come down towards your waist. Up and down. Bring your weights down by your sides. Bring your arms forward. Bring your elbows, wrists, and shoulders in line. Lift like you're lifting a tray, little teeny pulses, up, up, up. Maybe alternate with the pulses. Maybe that feels good. Flip your hands so they're palms down and pulse and pulse and pulse. Bring the weights down by your sides. Hinge a little bit forward. Strong foundation here in the feet. Palms are in towards your hips. Elbows are hugged in. Bend your elbows so your weights come up by your armpits. Extend the arms back toward the back wall. Arms come close, arms go back. Try to get all that movement in the upper part of the back of your triceps, in the upper part of the arm, in the back of it. All right, challenge your balance. Come on up to the balls of your feet, but keep your chest looking forward. Breathe. So you're extending the arms and then drawing them toward your armpits. Keep them extended this time and pulse them in towards your spine. Work the deltoids. When you're ready, squeeze and hug the weights in and then lift the edges of the weights up toward the back of the room. Breathe. You're still looking forward. Sink a little bit lower. Hold on in your knees like a chair pose. Little teeny pulses also in your legs. Breathe. You got it. Stay strong. Let's finish. Arms down by your sides. You're still high on the balls of your feet. Bring your shoulders back over your hips and then slide on up. Slide on up to standing. Take a deep breath in and a deep shoulder softening breath out. You got it. All right, weights back to your shoulders. Alternate as if you're climbing, and these are like pegs in a wall, and you're climbing, climbing. Breathe. Alternating, staying strong, using your upper body strength, staying strongly rooted in your foundation. When you're ready, both weights go up to the sky. Let them meet overhead. Maybe you've already ditched one weight. Maybe interlace your fingers a little bit. Hold on to those weights good and tight. Hug your biceps towards your ears. Send your elbows up toward the sky, and bring the weights toward the back of your neck. Lift the weights up and bring them down. Strong upper body. Good, strong posture. You got it. You can do it. Yes, you can. All right. Every little bit helps. Maybe you're lifting your water bottle. Maybe you've got nothing in your hands. Try to have a little something in your hands. Try to just have a little bit of resistance. And don't come down quick. You want to go up at the same speed that you lower. You don't want momentum to bring you down. Arms go up to the sky. Arms float down by your sides. Hinge forward here. And let the weights hang toward the earth. Wiggle your shoulders. Oh, let that pull of the weights toward the earth feel good. Gaze back towards your knees. I'm going to spread my feet a little bit to feel more solid in my foundation. Wiggle the shoulders. Let the weights go. Plant your hands on your mats. Step it back. Take a downward facing dog. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Fingers are spread wide. Your neck is loose. You are gazing back towards your knees or up towards your belly button. Shake your head. Heels are slightly lifted. Now pedal them out. Pedal them out and let it feel good. Move. Take that pedaling up into your hips. You're really pedaling here. When you're ready, finish up. Hips go high to the sky. Think of a string on your tailbone, lifting it higher to the sky. Neck is loose, shake it, feel good in this inverted V, your downward facing dog pose. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain, lengthen. Exhale, hands float to prayer center. Tree pose, Vrikasana. Have a chair nearby if you want, or bend one knee and send it to the side of the room. The other leg is your foundational leg, good and strong. Bring the sole of the bent leg's foot into the calf. Maybe it's a kickstand on the ground, or bring it high up into the thigh. Only place you don't want to put it is on the knee. You don't want to put that sideways pressure on your knee. Hand can be on a chair, on your hips, or you can grow your branches. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. I can't tell you, that's one of the most important cues here. Press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Wiggle your fingers as you grow your branches. Hands back to prayer center. Hold on here. Tell yourself your mantra. I can do it. Yes, I can. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the right foot next to the left. Other leg bends. It opens up. Place that foot wherever speaks to you today. Wherever it speaks to you is good, as long as it isn't in that region, right where your knee is. That's kind of self-correcting. It doesn't feel good. All right, foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Hold on here, stay strong like a firmly rooted tree. A tree grows branches. Wiggle the fingers, the little branches. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Breathe. Hold on, stay strong, hands. Float back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the left foot next to the right. You did it. You will look taller. Let's do that pose. Big arms, capital letter Y. Body, legs are together, so you look like the letter Y. All right, in the letter Y shape, lengthen up. Arms are teed out, or not teed out, your arms are wide out. Press the hands, backs of the hands to the back of the room, the big letter Y. Now a big letter W, elbows come down. 2 L's, forward and backward for look. T for taller, pulse it to the back of the room. Let's do it again, but be mindful of pressing the backs of your hands to the back of the room. You will look. Taller pulse. One more time. This time be mindful of the tightness around your spine. You want to squeeze and be strong up there. You will. 2 L's. You will look terrific. Pulse out your hands. You got it. Float your arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Feel a nice, tall, long spine. A nice, tall, long neck. Shoulders are back and down. Crown of the head is lifted. No dowager's humps here. No curvature of the spine. You have your shoulders back and down, and you have good posture because you will look taller. Do that pose periodically. Do it up against a wall, pressing the backs of your hands into the wall. Stand up good and straight so you can move better. All right, one-legged mountain. Lift your arms up. Lift your knee up. Bring your thigh to about hip height. Draw your toes towards your shins. Let's take it in to a warrior 3 pose. Send the right foot forward. Hinge forward. Arms can be long and parallel to each other, or hands can be on your hips or on a chair. Reach forward, lean forward, hinge into that right leg. Put a little forgiveness in the knee. Send the left leg long. Bring your body to a capital letter T for the word terrific. Hands back to prayer center or to your hips. Bring the left foot to meet the right. Stand up nice and straight. Take a deep breath in, hands at prayer center, and let it go. Step back with the right foot. Hinge forward into the left foot. Back foot can be a little kickstand. Arms can lift high. Arms can reach long to the front of your room. Back leg can lift. Hips are equal distant to the mat. Bring your body into the shape of a letter T. Hands can be on your hips if you so desire. Stretch, reach, and finish. Hands back to hips. Foot meets foot. Take a deep breath in. Hands on your hips. Take a deep breath in. And a deep shoulder softening breath out. As you're ready, fold forward. Fold forward. We did this earlier. How does it feel now? Little forgiveness in your knees. Chin tucked towards your chest so you can look back to your navel or your belly button. Wiggle your hips. Wiggle your arms. If they don't touch the ground, no big deal. Bend your knees. Come on down to a seated position. Seated position with your legs extended long. Seated forward fold. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Toes are going up there too. Reach your arms forward like you did in your warrior 3. Reach your hands towards your feet, your calves, whatever you can reach. It's good. Don't be discouraged. Encourage yourself. Don't discourage yourself. Elbows hug towards your knees. Look down towards your knees. Lengthen. Your belly pushes against your thighs. It happens to everybody. Exhale, fold forward. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Let's take a bridge pose, but grab your weights. If you want. If you don't want to use the weights, don't do it. Soles of the feet are on your mat. Hands to prayer center. I can do it. Yes, I can. Lean on back. Lean on back, all the way back, and have your weights nearby. Once you're down, let's do a bridge pose. You can do it with the weights or without. You decide. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Your knees are over your ankles. Your knees are in line with your hip. Push into your hips. Send your hips high to the sky. Here's where you can add that 40-pound dog onto your hips, or take the weights and pulse the hips up to the sky. And if you don't want to use the weights, don't do it. In fact, try it a couple times without the weights, and you'll see how the weights make it quite a bit more challenging. Hello, Tammy, my friend in Colorado. I miss you. And Stan, and Liz, and Diane, and Marietta, and Joyce, and Tyrone, and Elizabeth, and Olivia, and Rena, and Yvette, and Tim. And Anna, how are you guys? That's all I can read on my side. Lift, lift, lift. All right, nice job. Let's do some hip dips. Right hip, let it touch down. Lift it back up to your bridge. Left hip, let it touch down. And you can eliminate the weights if you want. But one hip touches down on one side. Other hip touches down on the other side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, bring your hips back to center. Pulse them up, up, up to the sky. Remove the weights, bring them into that goddess-like pose. So you want your elbows to about shoulder height, backs of your forearms toward the mat. You got your weights in your hands, let it feel good. When you're ready, if you're ready, keeping your hips high and lifted, hold on to those weights good and tight. Bring your forearms to the midline of your body, maybe have the elbows touch, and then open them back up to a cactus position. Bring them on forward. Depending upon your chest size, you may not be able to get the arms together, or you may be able to let them all touch completely. Open and close. Open and close. You're still pressing into your feet, keeping your hips good and high, nice and strong bridge. Let's finish. Bring the arms down. Bring the arms down by your sides. Weights too, to about your hip height. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Send your legs long on your mat. Arms go high overhead. Point the toes, stretch the arms, stick pose. When you're ready, arms float down. Move those weights so you don't roll over onto them, and then roll over onto your belly. Let's do Superman and swimmer. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Toes go long toward the bottom of your mat. Lift your chin up off the ground. Maybe lift one leg or the other and alternate. Maybe lift both legs up as you balance on your pelvis. Maybe lift the arms and hold it here. Fly like Superman. Maybe the legs go higher. Maybe the arms and chest go higher. Hold it. Start to move your legs like a swimmer. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Bring your legs down. Bring your hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up to a seal pose. Chest shines forward. Press into your hands. Soften in your glutes. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Let it go. Nice job. Come on up to standing on your knees. Place your hands at your low back. Push your hips forward. Elbows toward your spine. Look up. Ceiling to wall. Look up. Overhead. Look back. Maybe to the back where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then come on, shoulders over your hips. Grab a seat by sitting on your heels. Find your eye shade and your towel. Bring them up to where your shoulders are going to be when you recline on your back. Let's recline on our backs. Nice stretch in the quads here. The other day, come on down to your back. The other day, we did a hero's pose. That is a challenge. That feels good in the quads. Join us another day. We do different things every day. I promise you won't be bored. Come on down slowly. Hands to prayer center. I can do it. Yes, I can. All the way down. When you're ready, supine twist, left leg long, hug the right knee in, circle the ankle right, circle the ankle left, left calf is on your mat. Left hand grabs the right knee, it crosses the midline of the body, roll onto the left hip. Aren't you glad you moved those weights? Move, turn your head to the right, right shoulder stays down, supine twist. Bring the hip back down to the earth, bring the gaze back up to the sky, hug the right knee in, good and tight, send it long. Left leg lifts. Come on, bring it up. Hug it in. Circle the ankle right. Circle the ankle left. Hug that knee in a little bit tighter. Right leg goes super long on the mat. Right hand takes the left knee. You roll onto the right hip. Left arm tees out and you look left. Encourage that knee down. Encourage the stretch here. When we were standing, we did kind of a foreshadowing of this pose in our big coat swing. Bring the gaze back up to the sky. Your body remembers. Bring your hip back down to the ground. Hug the left knee in. Send your left leg long on your mat. Come into your final Shavasana pose. Heels spread toward the edges of your mat. Toes fall, pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Find your eye shade or your towel. Cover your eyes. Arms down by your sides, palms face up, fingers toward the earth. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Big breath in, big breath out. Maybe sigh it out. Your body remembers all the good things you did to it in the last hour. It also remembers all the bad things you've done to it over your lifetime. The body keeps the score. It remembers. So create good habits starting today. Create good habits so you can continue to do good things to the one and only body you have. In this final Shavasana pose, all your limbs are heavy, your eyes are heavy, the area between your eyebrows is soft. If you have your remote control handy, you can hit pause right here and find peace in this time of conscious relaxation. And then when it's time for you to resume your practice, all you do is hit the play button and join us here. Take a big breath in, maybe a big sighing breath out. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Circle your wrists and circle your ankles. I'm big into that because it's important to keep your foundation strong. Inhale, lengthen your arms high overhead, point your toes, reach your arms, stretch it out as if it were a big good morning stretch. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, roll onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly make your way on up to a seated position. If you're using your hands, that's fine, but just be aware that, hey, I'm using my hands. You've been working on getting a strong core, so maybe you don't need to use your hands. Crisscross your legs, sit however is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center, lengthen up through your spine. Sit up nice and straight with your shoulders over your hips. Let your knees fall toward the earth. Shoulders are over your hips, you're nice and straight. Press your thumbs slightly into your chest. Maybe take your two peace fingers and press your chin back just a smidge, so your head is more on your shoulders. Take a deep breath in, tuck your chin slightly, lengthen up, and a big breath out, soften up. Blink your eyes open gently. You did it. Congratulations. You did a 1 hour long yoga practice. You moved your body in lots of different ways. Hopefully everything worked well for you, or more importantly, you made it work right for you. Stress number. You took it in the beginning. What was it? Stress number. What is it now? What's your stress number? Hopefully it's down. Mine kind of went up and down a little bit. I don't know why she wants to be so close today. All right, so your stress number went down. Your yoga is definitely working. Remember what we said early on. When you say yes to challenges, you are also saying yes to growth, courage, and change. Positive change. All right, love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye. What's up with you, girly girl? Hey, oh, that's the book. Yeah, The Body Keeps the Score. Fabulous, amazing book. Just incredible. Your body's listening. Listen to it. Love you guys. Bye. Hello, baby girl. What's up with you today? What's up? Do you want to go outside? Read the book. It's fabulous. I promise. It's deep. It's intense, but it's good. Bye. Hi. What's up? What's up? What's up with you? Do you want to go for a walk or something? All right, you want to go outside? That's what it is. You got to go outside.
You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.